Hello, my freakishly tall friends. I have another very exciting video for you today in which I review the poetically named tCentric hybrid chair. So I'm 6'5" and I was looking for a chair that was tall enough on the back for the seat back to actually reach my inner lumbar. Most of the chairs on the market, the curve of the back is far too low, ends up being down the bottom here, just pokes into my butt rather than my lumbar. And that is the case with the Herman Miller Aeron chair I've had for about the last 10 years. In fact, I'll show you what the issues are with it. So although there are 3 sizes to the Aeron and I own the largest one, I end up sitting in the middle of this big bucket seat. The chair's wider than I need. And then on the side, the seat back is fixed and has this kind of gradual lumbar support to try and accommodate a wider variety of sizes, I guess, with a posture fit slider in the back where the lumbar support can be adjusted up and down. And what frequently happens with this system is I try to get it right up to the top and then it pops out. And another issue with this chair is the arms, you can't get them out of the way. So when I want to play guitar, I have to perch right forward on the seat. And also the guitar clunks into the hard plastic frame of this. So I was looking for a chair with a height adjustable back that made it all the way to my lumbar spine and arms that could either be removed entirely or swung out to the side. Right, so back to this guy. Okay, so this one improves on the Aeron in several respects. I'm going to take a look at it from the bottom to the top and explain the improvements as I come to them. This chair is a demo chair I've obtained from a local reseller. It will differ from the final build in that there are a few extra customizations for my height, so I'll explain what they are when I get to that. So let's start from the bottom first. So this base is the aluminium shiny one. It's just for looks. I'm going to order the plastic one because it's cheaper and lighter. I'm also going to replace the wheels with the rollerblade style wheels that I put on my Aeron. And I checked earlier and the two are cross compatible. So I'm just going to swap them over once the chair arrives. Moving up, we have a fairly standard gas lift, bottom, top. The gas lift comes in 3 different heights. This is the medium one. I may just stick with the medium one because it is already tall enough for me. To be seated ergonomically, you're looking for an angle slightly more than 90 degrees with the thigh tilted down slightly, so this is pretty good for me at its max height. A nice touch on this chair too is that each of the many levers have a different shape and there's a little map of the shapes on each side of the chair, so they just have a little visual indicator of which function is which. So the gas lift is square. Moving on to the triangle, we have the seat range of motion lever. So the end of the range of motion is currently here. It will go all the way forward to here if I wanted that for some reason, and the very back of it is about here, which is a little bit more reclined than upright, so I just have mine a little bit forward about there. This particular model also has the synchro glide functionality, which just means that the seat can freely tilt back, but the ratio of seat back movement to seat pan movement is 2 to 1. So the seat pan doesn't come fully back with the chair, it more slowly reclines. So as you recline back, you open up the hips, which is nice. Just staying on this side of the chair now and moving on to the final paddle is one of my favorite parts of this chair, the massively adjustable spring-loaded height adjustment. So there's 5 inches of travel there. Any chair I tried in the big box stores like IKEA and Office Max, none of them went high enough for the actual curve of the seat back to reach my lumbar region, or as with the Aeron, the default seat back height is fixed down here and then has an adjustable lumbar, but you already have the seat back curve too low here. And compensating for that with the adjustable lumbar support just gives you an elongated lumbar curve that still doesn't match where your actual lumbar curve is. So for this one, it actually goes too high, which is the only one I've tried on the market that does that. So if I let that fall a bit, it very naturally sinks into where it should, my actual lumbar region. But additionally, one of the customizations you can get is the inflatable lumbar support. So you can pump that up to provide extra support. I don't actually need that because it fits so well. So I might save some money there by not ordering it. On the other hand, if the support sort of softens over time, you might want to reinforce that support when you need it. So moving to the levers on the other side. Firstly, we have a lock that prevents the seat from going back at all. What I tend to do is leave this off so I can freely recline as needed. But there is also here a spring tensioner. So you can wind that right up tight and that dictates how hard it is to recline. I have that on quite tightly so that I can just kind of sit upright naturally, but also slouch a bit when I'd like to. The final lever here is the seat depth adjustment. So if you flip that up, you can scoot your butt forward and back to dictate the depth of the seat pan. So this is the regular seat pan, and if I slide this all the way forwards and sit back, you'll see it just about reaches where it's supposed to, which is 1 to 2 inches of space, no more, behind the back of your legs. But this seat is also customizable in that you can get a deeper one. And so for my final build, I'm going to get the deeper seat pan so that my butt's not right on the edge back here. There'll be more seat and I can reach the required depth on both sides. So now I'll move to my other favorite part of this chair, which isn't specifically for tall people, but it's of great interest to musicians or people that do things on their chairs besides typing. And that is the fully articulating seat arms. So if I want to play guitar, they're out of the way and I can play instruments freely without bashing this on the plastic or sliding it back and forth and hitting anything, and actually sitting back if I want or forwards. That's fantastic. So that's great. That means I might actually use the arms, although ergonomically when you're typing, your hands are supposed to be resting and relaxed in space. I have read a couple of studies that say using armrests can be okay as long as they're exactly customized to where you want them, to minimize pressure on the tendons here and to make sure that you're not resting your weight and your body on your arms. So with this in an upright position, I can put my arms where I want them to be. I would actually like them directly by my sides in here. So the arms also are movable in and out as well. There are 2 levers here, push in, and now I wouldn't mind if they were even a little bit closer, but that's kind of fine overall. One of the issues with putting them in so close is that trying to put them back then means that this would hit the seat. My solution for this is basically to just leave these levers unlocked permanently so I can slide the seat in and out as I want. So typing like this, move out, put them down to play, slide out again, back up. The final piece on this is that the height is adjustable. You can see they're a bit wobbly from having the levers unlocked, but that's a trade-off I've made. And also they're rotatable. So the normal position is probably towards the front like so. But again, because I like them close in and back, I rotate them to the back. So that more naturally suits my arm position. So that's the tCentric hybrid. As I've said, this is a demo model, but I really like it. So I'm buying one. It will be the same as this, except with a standard base, an extra long seat depth, and potentially a headrest. They come with a fully articulating headrest that I'm told will get high enough to actually cradle my neck should I feel desired to fully slouch. So I hope you found that useful. Again, the particular things of interest to tall people is the massively adjustable backrest, the fact that the lumbar locks in with the actual natural curvature of the chair, so you get all of the curve exactly where you need it, up here, not down on your butt. Just to note, the customizability of this chair goes beyond what you'll see on reseller websites for this. If you want to get access to all the options, you need to call ergoCentric directly and they'll sort that out with you, as I've done. And they can also show you the various customizations available in person as well if they're in the area. So that was a great experience. And then the last thing, again, not particularly a tall person thing, but just absolutely love being able to get the arms fully out of the way. So with that, I return to my practice.